Well, what do we have here? Looks like another little vamp has fallen for one of my traps. Hello there. No, don't feel bad. You're not the first to fall for my traps. So you've heard of me? Yes, I am the famous vampire huntress. One of the most famous on the continent? Well, maybe. I do have quite the record behind me. That's right, Vanessa Stillveel, in the flesh. But I'm sure you can tell my flesh from there, you vamp. Hey, go get the others. I'll be taking this one myself. Now be a good vamp and let me take you along. There's no point in resisting. All right. We're alone now. It's just you and me, little vamp. All right, there's some things we need to get straight here. First of all, I'm not here to kill you. I know that is sort of backwards considering what I do for a living, but I assure you that's all just a front. I actually have never killed a vampire in my life. My collection of vampire teeth. Yes, well, that's a story within itself. Actually, they're not real. No, none of them are real. I had another vamp made them for me. Quite handy when it comes to making a name for myself. Each one counts for a score that I've done. Why would I have them made if I'm not going to kill you? That's a good question. Well, as you may have guessed, I do have quite the reputation, and because I have quite the reputation, I can get around quite easy. A lot easier than other vampire sympathizers. Yes, I said vampire sympathizer, for that's what I am. Like I said, I'm not here to kill you. I'm actually here to give you a second chance. But I am going to be moving you to new territory. You can't stay here. Because everyone knows of your presence, I have to relocate you to a new area. To a vamp safe house. Well, you would never have heard of it. It's all very underground. You know how much the Empire's against vamps. You're all hunted down. Look, there's a big difference between a rogue and a survivor. And you're not a rogue. I've read your file, I've followed your footsteps. I know a rogue when I see one. I've been in this business long enough. No, I don't even kill the rogues. They're brought to a facility ran by other vamps to be rehabilitated. Though we haven't had any successes yet. Once a vampire goes rogue, it's pretty hard to get them to see sanity again. That's why I try to get to them before they go off the rails. It's not always a success, but at least I have a better chance of getting to the vampires than others do. Especially other vampires. Other hunters can smell them a mile away, you might say. You don't look so good. We still have a way to go. And no, I am not going to let you drink mine. I need my energy. We have quite a trek ahead of us, and I have to still put on a face. You know, the great huntress. If I don't, then, well, we're both screwed. I'm not sure if it's worse to actually be a vamp or to be a traitor, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. Here, I have something for you. This will quench your thirst and give you some energy for a while until I get you something more sustainable. No, it's perfectly safe. I promise I'm not trying to poison you or anything. Trust me, if I wanted to take you out, I could have by now. You may be a vamp, but... Well, no offense, but you're still very new at all this. I can tell you're not familiar with using your powers at full capacity. And, well, I've gone up against rogues. So, even though I haven't had to kill one, I have fought hand-to-hand with one, and if I wanted to take you out, I could have by now. Let's just put it that way, okay? Here. I promise it won't hurt you. Here, look. It only tastes bad for me. No, I'm not a vamp. I've just had to drink this thing so many times that I'm rather immune to it now. Yeah, pretty well every vamp I bring in, I have to prove that I'm not trying to poison them. Which I can't say I blame you. It's not every day that a human reaches their hand forward in friendship. Yeah, make sure you drink it all. It's just a mixture that will help you keep your energy up and keep the cravings in check. At least until I get you to something else. I have some knowledge in it, but there are other vampires under my care that have much more knowledge in this area with dealing with it. It's part of the reason that keeps them from going rogue. Yeah, there's a whole society. There are a few other humans that are within our ranks, but there aren't many. It takes quite a lot to make sure a human is actually on our side and not working as an agent. We run a risky show, and we're constantly looking over our shoulders. I'm in the limelight all the time. Foolish? Well, perhaps, but by being in the limelight and acting as one of the most famous huntresses on the continent, I get a lot of tips on where the vamps are, especially the rogues. But I also pick up hints on survivor vamps like you. And I'd much rather hear about you this way than hearing about another one dead. Well, of course it's dangerous. Haven't I hinted at that already? There's nothing more dangerous than going against the entire empire. Like I said, I'm not sure what's worse, being a vampire or being someone who saves a vampire. Why? Well, it's a bit of a long story, but let's just leave it at for now that I don't want to see another creature get harmed. It's true that some vamps do go rogue and get out of control, and then they go on a killing spree. But there are a lot of evil people too. I can't say that one race is better than the other. So what gives us the right to hunt you down? It's not like you were born with a choice. Anyway, we don't need to go into my backstory now. The most important thing is to get you somewhere safe, and we're nowhere near there yet. You may have guessed that those people with me are not actually part of my cause. They're more or less fans that follow me around and do my bidding. But they do come in handy in keeping my image up, which is also very handy in finding other vamps. I get tips pretty quickly. Alright, listen. Like I said, we have quite a trek ahead of us to get to where you're going to be safe. We're going to have to cross the border. And, well, I'm going to have to treat you like a prisoner, so don't take any of my harsh words personally. I don't mean any of them. But I have to keep the face up for both our sakes. Yes, it's going to be very dangerous. And very risky. There's no good way around it. They have patrols all the way across the border. Trust me, I've done this run many, many times now. Whoa, okay, breathe. Come on, stay with me. Look at me. Hey! Hey, look at me. I'm going to get you out of here. No, you would not have been safer if you stayed. The whole village was aware of your presence. If I didn't find you first, another vamp slayer would have, and you would be dead by now. Your best option right now is to trust me. If I wanted to do something to you, there would have been something in that potion. But, don't you feel better? Don't you feel less thirsty? See? I'll take a nod. Now listen to me. If we're going to get through this, you need to follow my instructions. Let me know if you start to get thirsty again. We can't risk your eyes glowing. Then we'll both really be in trouble. If you need a drink again, let me know as subtly as possible. And we'll go somewhere secluded and I'll give you more. It should last for several hours, but it really depends on your system and how deprived you are. All right. Come on. We're about 2 hours from the nearest crossing. You can tell me a bit about yourself. We'll have a lot of time to exchange. And maybe I'll rethink telling you a bit more about me. But for now, let's just get this next leg over with, huh? Trust me, it's gonna be okay. I promise.